guys. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is taken near the 13. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34.
Who's streaming? I'm streaming.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's go, Abby. Everyone's got. Charlie. Don't let Charlie. Hey, 626.
The third-year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. Looking deep for Adams.
Oh, come on, man. What the
Picked it.
fuck is going on?
Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
White 90. Ground 80. Oh, you got deep. Slam. Check.
Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rivers.
Come on, man.
And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. This secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and you know the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And it's complete. Henry. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger 1st down. Now Gordon on 1st down.
On your feet, big dog.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the 2nd time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns, and that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25. And 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. 2nd and 5 now. Rivers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
180. We got 4. Hey, zoom.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He got his man, complete. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 53 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the 17-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Badgley's kick is good. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now Rodgers, a free play. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Here we go, G. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. 26. Mike.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Going up, and this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Charger drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Orange. Load it. Load it. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Orange bomb 4. 51, Mike. Mike 51. Hey, Alpha. Switch up.
From the gun, Rivers. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers.
Oh, how the
Got
fuck
an
was
open
he
man.
that
It's
open?
Valdez-Scantling. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Packers. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. The Charger drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Rivers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions in not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know something, big guy? We're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Dexter Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. 21-3 is your score after one.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Check 390. 390. Here we go. Hey, easy. Easy.
A quick throw there out to Williams. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And by the way, it's worth noting that the Packers are one of 3 teams that Phillip Rivers has never beaten in his long career in the league. Carolina is one, of course, his own team, the Chargers, another, and then the Packers rounding out the 3. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon, and he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Zero. Watch twins.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
380.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Son, hey, Brown 80. Let's go. Hey, Rocket. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, Orbit. Hey, ready.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Rivers to throw for it on 4th. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position and throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they got, and for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Get 300. Get 300.
Off the draw, here's Williams. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, 88.
On play action, Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The Chargers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Ty Long now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returning, it's Benjamin. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Charger drive about to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now a carry for the fullback. This is Vitale. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Adrian Phillips, an all-pro as a special teamer last year, in on the tackle.
18. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Rodgers now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers throwing again. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught at the 25. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
18.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. And Graham's got it, complete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Rivers now just 5 of 16 throwing the ball, but he's got a 1st and 10.
12.
Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Rivers now finding Mike Williams. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Stay there. 390. Come on. Tight end right.
Now on 2nd and 13. Rivers. Flush to his right. He's going to let it go end zone for Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against the secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. He's got a man open. That's Allen. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
They run it here with Gordon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
What we got? 55.
3rd and long for Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
59-yard attempt.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
From the 27, Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers as his guys continue to pour it on. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. The Charger drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
To throw, Rivers. Completes it to Benjamin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Rivers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Rivers finding his top receiver. That's Allen. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Rivers. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Rivers. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Rivers. Complete. It's Henry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. 1st down, Rivers. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
They'll run it here with a fullback, Vitale. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Green 18. Don't get nervous. Back north. 49.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Good coverage that time by Derwin James.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here's Ty Long now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. With it is Jackson. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and run with their fullback. Space to maneuver at the 40. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Take it down.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 28-yard line.
And now a carry here for their fullback. Down to the 25. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play you did. So you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitch...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Open man, it's Allen. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week. Trying to get...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
A big loss on the play. Brings up 2nd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
91 is the Mike 91. Here we go, D. Here I come.
Rivers. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Rivers. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Josh Jackson. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Rodgers looking to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
26. We are going. Set.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He's got a 1st down past the 30. A big play there by Gordon. 78 yards. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Yeah, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Rivers now. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College, not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing, and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Short kick. Will the up middle take it now? And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whip.